Καλησπέρα σας, γεια σας, καλώς ήρθατε. Επειδή δεν βρίσκω την Ιωάννα αυτή τη στιγμή, θα σας μιλήσω εγώ λίγο για τον Νικόλα. Ο Νικόλα Ουλιάνας από τη Fernet Branca είναι ο brand ambassador της Fernet Branca και του Caprano. Θα σας μιλήσει λίγο για τα προϊόντα που βλέπετε μπροστά σας και θα μας καθοδηγήσει στον κόσμο της Fernet Branca και του Caprano Vermouth. Ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Hi everybody. As Mariana said, my name is Nicola Ulianas, I'm from Italy, brand ambassador. I would like to thank Condor Distribution for this opportunity to present you all this portfolio of products. Well, every time I've got a microphone, it makes me feel like a karaoke thing, so I'd like not to sing. Well, every time, you know, we have a presentation, you know, I kind of feel emotional because, of course, a lot of people, you know, it's hard to do presentation in front of a lot of people. It's not really easy. The guy before me was really good with a lot of dynamic things, but they told me, you know, just to calm down, just to imagine your crowd to be naked. So can you please call the girls from Jack Daniels upstairs, so to put in front of me, because so they helped me out. So what we're going to do today, as I said, I'm a brand ambassador for Fernet Branca and Caprano in Italy and of course international wise. And what we do a tasting session. Okay, what we're gonna do, we're gonna taste the Fernet and see how the Fernet Branca, which is the main brand, of course, of Fratelli Branca Distillery in Italy, is the film rouge of all the portfolio of Branca. Okay, then we're gonna taste the Caprano as Vermouth, the Caprano Bianco, the Classico, and the top range Antica Formula. I'm not gonna be like long on presentation. We have just like 250 slides. No, I'm joking. There's gonna be like just 10 slides. Very easy slides. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make the product talk for me. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to taste it together, we're going to sip it together, and we're going to go through together to see what is inside the product. Just a little bit brief on the company. The company was born 170 years ago. So we have 170 years of mastercraft on distillery, spices and herbs. And what is Fernet? Fernet was born, as I say, 170 years ago in Milano, and it's a blend between 27 herbs and 13 spices. So lots of botanicals. So for all those people that works with bar and cocktails, and you make cocktails and use a lot of products, think about the botanical inside this product. So it has a lot to say. Always say that Fernet is a vertical drink. It's not a flat drink, because every sip you take, every time you put it in your mouth, something different the product is gonna say to you, because all the products, all the spices and herbs they have their own identity. And how Fernet is made. We take these 27 herbs and 13 spices from 4 continents, so all around the world, and we separately work them. So what we do, each spices and each herbs has its own way to be extracted. So after they are extract all of course everything is inside, they gather together and they rest for a year in a barrel. So this is something already unique for an amaro, as we call it, or a bitter. So Fernet is a bitter. He has this specific characteristic to rest in oak barrel for at least 1 year. So in this year, of course, all the spices and herbs, they gather together and they get this unique and round taste. But what I might let the product talk. So we're gonna sip it together and then we're gonna talk through. Just a brief something to say before. You know better than me that our mind can recall in memory images, sounds, feelings, all the things we can remember, we can recall it and remember it. The only thing we cannot recall in our brain is taste. Even if we think about the strawberry or we think about a taste of something, we think we have it there, but we cannot recall it. Of course, this is something that our body does because we have to eat again. So if we can remember the taste of something, we don't have an incentive to eat again. So because of this, we always look for something sweet. Our body is looking for something sweet. But Fernet has nothing to do with sweet. Fernet is bitter. So the first sip, of course, is going to surprise you because it's something that's completely different from what you're expecting. So let's do the first sip together, then we talk it through. You can see some Fernet face. When you drink it, you make your face like that. So now, what the product is telling you now is I'm bitter, I'm very bitter, and I'm alcoholic. These are the two messages that we really get from the product straight away. But of course we are professionals, and we drink a lot of alcohol, we drink a lot of spirits, we drink complex spirits. So we move from the taste, we go over the taste, and we try to understand what this product is telling us more. So if we go through the second taste, the message is completely different. It's not bitter anymore. It's nothing bitter. It's not only bitter, but something that is more related to the skin of the tree. It's more roots. So you feel the gentiana, you feel the licorice. And the alcohol is not alcoholic, but it's balsamic. Try to breathe with your mouth open. Feel how it's opening your lungs. So already we evolved, and the product has evolved in 2 sips. So the first message was a basic message. The second message of the product is something completely different. It's more interesting. It's more botanical. On the third sip, kind of the bitter taste is gone, almost. It's not bitter anymore as before. It's kind of sweet. Not really sweet, of course. I'm talking about sweet. I'm talking about bitter, but it's not as bitter as before. And the alcoholic is menthol. It's like mint. So you see how our taste has evolved from the first sip to the third sip. And this is how the product is the same product. We keep the same recipe for 170 years. We didn't change glass. It's the same glass. But see how from this first sip to the third sip, this product has evolved. Of course, this is kind of a message that the product wants to give us. Is the message is the approach sometimes on drinks has to be different. We have to try to understand what the product is telling us and what we want to get from the product. So think about this, how it can be used on mixologies as well. It can be substitute, of course, of any bitters. We're talking about any cocktail. If we make an old-fashioned, for example, with the Fernet Branca, the old-fashioned takes a different panel of taste. It's going to be like the spectrum of taste is going to be richer and ample because we're talking about 27 herbs, 13 spices. So it's going to blend, for example, if we make a rum old-fashioned with the spices of the rum. So this is how the Fernet is. So I'll always talk about the Fernet because for me it's important because after you drink the Fernet, your palate is more ample and more ready to get everything else from the other products. So this is the Fernet is all about. We're talking about then the Caprano. I don't want to stress you very much. I'm going to be quite fast on the presentation, so we can leave maybe some space for question and maybe go in depth. We're talking about the Fernet Branca portfolio. So we're talking about Caprano. What is Caprano? Well, Caprano is a vermouth. The vermouth was invented by Benedetto Caprano in the late 1700 in Torino. What is the vermouth? Everybody knows what the vermouth is. A fortified wine with absinthe. Okay, this is what it actually is. But why this product is so unique on the taste? Of course, the Caprano has the signature of Fernet inside. So when we're talking about Caprano, we're talking about a vermouth that has character, and it emerges in cocktail. You have everybody's got your Caprano Bianco? Okay. The Caprano Bianco, this is actually how the products start. We're talking about white wine, so from Sicily, from Emilia-Romagna, from some places in Italy, so sunny places, with a high acidity wine. And we take this wine, we stabilize at 10 degrees, and we have the spices and herbs. We're talking about, like in Caprano, around 35 to 40 botanicals. Difference, of course, from each type of Caprano. For Caprano Bianco, we have some types, and so forth for the Caprano Classico and Antica Formula. But the characteristic is that these products have character. You can recognize them while you drink them, because they have really this character to be unique. So take the Caprano Bianco, and then the good things about Caprano Bianco is one of my favorite actually, is that what it's telling you on the eyes and the nose is completely different from what you get in your mouth. Okay, on the eyes is this yellow color and really fresh color, and on the nose instead you have this warm taste of fresh cacao and chocolate. In your mouth, instead, you have an explosion of grapefruit. So this is really completely different. See, in your mouth, this very orangey grapefruit taste, and really refresh, completely different from the nose. So this is how the wine and taste is, the wine is playing with your mouth, and this is how the explosion of taste in your mouth. So the Carpano Bianco really is lots of botanical, lots of fresh botanicals, lot of, as I say, fresh chocolate and cacao. And it is excellent on ice, just with a slice of orange, or just with sodas, with some white wine, kind of a spritz type of a serving suggestion. Now, the Carpano, of course, was like who invented, as I say, the vermouth in Torino. It was like, as I say, late 1700. And he actually take this recipe. It was the first one to create and stabilize a recipe and put it on the bottle. Was really the first one. The first one. At the time, in Italy, we're drinking like kind of a rosolio. I don't know if you know this type of spirit. And the drinking level wasn't that good. And he managed to create this product. And it was so good, it was so famous, that the king in Italy, in Torino, decided to have the product all over Italy. So since then, we have this product. Then after that, other companies make vermouth and different flavors. So we have different flavors, of course, different type of vermouth. But this is actually the first vermouth ever produced in the bottle. We go through the Carpano Classico. So we go all through them. You're not going to drink more than one shot together, okay? Now, the Carpano Classico instead, how is the Carpano Classico? We have basically the same recipe. So we have the wine, we have the spices, we have hot infusion, of course, cold infusion of the spices. They gather together for 2 months, and then the rest in the bottle. So they get all together, all the flavors. In the Carpano Classico, we add some burnt sugar. The burnt sugar helps to get the wine characteristics, so the minerality and the sapidity, with the spice notes. So it's the kind of like, it's getting together all this flavor. And also has this amaricante, like this bitter taste note at the end. The good things about the Carpano that we try now, and you realize that it's creating a kind of a circle in the drinking, okay? Because you have it with sweet in your mouth. The first part is going to be sweet. Then you have the botanical and the wine structure in your mouth, so the minerality, and it's closing down with a bitter note. So this really bitter note at the end. And you know, if you close a drink or wherever you drink with something that is bitter, you look to start the cycle again and have the sweeter again. So it's creating a circle. It's basically what you actually do when you prepare a drink. When you make a good cocktail, you create this circle. You have a cocktail that has a nice bouquet, nice flower notes in the maybe the nose. Then you have the botanical in your mouth. Then you have the structure, and then you close with the bitter note or with the dry note. Let's talk about maybe wines. The wine's the same. In the nose, you have like this very nice perfume. Then you have the structure, and then you close with the tannic. So it's dry out of your mouth. So you're will to drink again. With a Carpano, while you're drinking, you will feel exactly the same process. So you're going to start with the sweet. You have the sweet note in your mouth. Everybody has got a Carpano? No? I'm joking. It's gonna get. Then we do it again, anyhow. In the mouth, you have this sweet note. Then you feel the structure. So you have the wine, the sapidity, you have the acidity, the minerality of the white wine. And then at the end, this really close botanical feeling that is closing down. Think how this product himself could give richness to your Negroni or to your Americano. Because it's creating a lot of structure. I'm not going to say how to make cocktails. You know how to make cocktails, of course. And you make cocktails according, of course, even to the type of customers you have in front of you. So you change it, of course. This is really important. I always say that to make a good cocktail, you need a good product. If you start from a good product, you're already there to make a good cocktail. And these products help you out to make a good cocktail because they have character. Or at least they help you how to make a cocktail that has an identity. You are working a bar and you want to be different from everybody else, wants to be unique. Everybody wants to be unique, you have to be different. This product actually helps you out to be different because it emerges. And you feel it in your mouth, you still have the lasting flavor in your mouth of the product. See how long the taste of the product is there still around in your mouth. Think about in your Negroni, how this can really match all the other ingredients. The botanical of the gin and the Campari or the bitter. This is really actually how it's getting there is evolving. So in the Campari, so in the Negroni with the Campari and the gin, this Caprano is not disappearing, it's there and it's giving the bitter notes at the very end. So if we try it again, for those who can, you see we still have this structure. We have the sweet note at the very beginning, which is the sugary. Then we have like this structure, and then we have this minerality, how our saliva is getting there. We have this acidity in your mouth. And then at the very end, it's closing again with the bitter note. Yes? Sorry, I can't hear you.
And the
Sorry, say it. No, say. It's working.
Hello?
Yes.
Would you consider it as the smoothest or more balanced, most balanced vermouth? I know you're not supposed to speak about any other vermouth, but my opinion is it's the smoothest and the most balanced. It's not so offensive.
Well, as you say, it's not that I'm not supposed to talk about other products. It's that I don't usually talk about other products. What I usually say that is different. The Caprano is like, he has an identity, he has character. So it doesn't disappear in the drink. So maybe you say, what do you think actually? It's more, you think it's smooth. And it's balanced. Yeah, what we usually do, as we did before for the Fernet, for example, we take the Fernet, I take the Fernet again in my nose, and this is the characteristic of our products, and this is the signature. We have products that we have a character, like they have strong personality, but they don't have like peaks. They are there. They're all around it. So, for example, Fernet in the nose is not kicking your nose, it's not taking you far away from it, but while you drink it, you feel the character. Same as for the vermouth, for Caprano. In the nose, it's very well balanced. It has this nice warm nose, but in the mouth, then you feel it has character. This is actually the characteristic of this product. To say, they are smooth, they are rounded, but they have a lot of structure. A lot of structure. Thanks. Is there any other question? No, okay. I think we can. Yes? Caprano, the meaning is, of course, of the founder, the founder of the company. Benedetto Caprano was the surname. So that was given on the name of the bottle. No other meaning. So, it's formula. Okay. You didn't get the Caprano Classico. So let's get together again into the Caprano Classico. As we said before, is rounded, is very well balanced. It has all the structure that you need to have on the vermouth, because we are talking about something that it doesn't have like a high volume content. So it needs to have character on the spices and on the bitter notes. So this is why we're talking about as a rounded drink. It's not like a narrow, but it's really rounded. The spectrum of flavor, they are really combined themselves all together. So if we taste a little bit again of Caprano Classico, now again what you get is the acidity of the wine. So again, we have a good structured wine. We don't use like a amazing wine. You don't use amazing wine to make of course the vermouth. You need a wine that has the capacity to oxidate really slow, because the oxidation on the product is very important. We go to the top range, and I'm going to stay a little bit more on this product here. So I think you may know this product. Ah, okay. They give me an empty one for a full one. That's a good deal. This is actually how, what I'm holding here is the first bottle ever produced of vermouth. This is how vermouth was born, ever. Same label, same shape bottle. And the story about this is kind of nice. When Fratelli Branca Distillery bought Caprano in 1980, and the first half of Caprano in 1980, and the second half of Caprano in the 2000 round, the ownership of Caprano came to our company and said, well, you know what, now that you bought all the company, I can give you these small documents that we found in our offices. And it was written Antica Formula. And it was actually the original recipe on how Benedetto Carpano invented the vermouth. So this is what actually we drink it. This is how the actually vermouth was born. And now you taste it, you feel actually how was drinking at the time. In the nose, of course, you have a lot of spice notes, a lot of vanilla, lots of vanilla and lot of spice notes. You have less sugar content, but the content sugar is like a substitute by the spices notes. And in the mouth again, lot of spiciness. The balance between the spices and the bitterness, and you get the sweet and you get the spice, you get the wine content, you get the structure, and it's all rounded. This is something, of course, that makes, again, a good cocktail different again. You get like you make a very good balanced cocktail. You make it like between the bitter notes and the sweet, and all other ingredients. Of course, you make an hanky-panky, you make it with Antica Formula, and then the Fernet Branca and the gin. And all the botanicals between the Fernet Branca and the gin, they get it together with Antica Formula. So let's go through again the Antica Formula. And of course, even the color between the Carpano Classico and Antica Formula, you see it's kind of different. You get more, of course, sugar, burnt sugar content here, less here, but here you have more alcohol volume and more spices and more notes. So that's the taste that you get. They get very good wine, a very slow oxidation, and the spicy notes. So everybody's getting the Antica Formula now. Okay. Okay, somebody's missing. So if we take it to the nose again, you have this flavor, lots of flavor, lot of aromas, lot of spiciness. You have matches. I don't know, the matches is the nutmeg fruit. It's the outside of the nutmeg. So you have the spicy notes of the matches. You have the vanilla. You have cacao again. You have the almonds. You have a lot of complex aromas. In the mouth again, you would expect something really easy. Something really easy, but again, you get a lot of complexity. Yes? Excuse me? You think it's more offensive? I don't know if I describe it more offensive. Yeah, no. If I can say, maybe, I don't know if it's right to say, but this is something like, if we don't describe something like Alain Delon, you know, and this is Varvatilla. You say like that. No? Does it make sense? Okay, so I'm sure it makes sense. It makes sense to me. Okay, so this is actually the product. This is really character, strong, is in the bottle, but it's kicking there. Italian bartenders say Carpano Classico e incazzato. So it's like he's upset. Caprano Classico is upset, and it's something we're talking about a wine. We're talking about something sweet. We're talking about sugar and botanical. But while you taste it, it's far from there. It really has character. It's kicking there. It wants to emerge in the cocktail. It's fighting with the Campari. It's fighting with the gin. It's emerging, but still it's gathered them together. You know, it's making like a bouzouki all together. I can say it's more. Can I be more explicit than that? And instead you have like Antica Formula. The Antica Formula is like more classic. It's the kind of man that walks in the room, everybody's looking at him because he's dressed properly. He's not noisy, he's not loud, but he has his own character. He has his own style. And once they can both survive in the bar, because you either can make a drink with this, and you have like type of drink for some consumer, or you want to give a prize, a present to your customer, give them a Negroni with Antica Formula. So it's gonna taste something different. It's gonna ask you, what did you use to make the Negroni? Why is it so different? Why is it so spicy? Why is it so different from everybody else? This is what we do. We create products that are unique, and they make every cocktail unique and differentiate from the other ones. I think, as I said before, the rule sometimes is make a cocktail that people can remember. I know this, in Greece we have the same situation that we have in Italy. People are going out less. They're not going out every day, maybe just in the weekend, and they're giving more value to their money. So they want to be rewarded what they drink. So that when they drink, they want to drink something that has structure. He has something inside. It gives them meaning. It gives them a message. With this product, that's what you get. So these are really two different products. And in Caprano Classico, as I say, strong character with a lot of spiciness, and Antica Formula, rounded, balanced, smooth, but still it emerges. He has his own behavior inside the cocktail. And then you have, as I say, the Caprano Bianco, which is still, it's Bianco, it's classic, maybe we don't expect much. Instead of it has his own character again. He has all the grapefruit taste, he has the wine taste, he has the sweeter taste. So it can be used in the cocktail as well. Any question? Yes? Thank you very much. Why don't we produce dry vermouth? Because we launch it in January. We launch it in January, dry vermouth. So we make it like a Caprano dry. In January it's going to be launched in Italy, and then we're going to have it worldwide. So we're going to complete the whole portfolio. We already did in the 1980s the dry, but it was just a taste, just like a test. But now because a lot of cocktail getting like martinis and think about Vesper, maybe, you know, this type of cocktail are coming up again. So the dry Caprano is coming up. And it's going to have the same character. It's not going to be like all the other dries that you have in the market. It's going to be a dry by Fernet Branca. It's Caprano. So it's going to have like character again. It's going to have a lot of, I mean, I'm very emotional talking about like Caprano in Greece, because there's very much relation between Caprano and Greece, especially in Crete. Two of the main elements of the Caprano, one is, of course, is the absinthe, okay, the flower of Asensio, and the other one is the Ditamo Cretico. The Ditamo is one of the top elements of the Caprano and the vermouth. And it comes from Crete, of course, you know better than me. And the characteristic of the Ditamo Cretico is that it has a very large leaves, and it grows very close to the coast. So it gets all the air from the sea. And it has the ability to keep off the iodium, the saltiness of the air in the leaf, and it's giving them back while you mix it with the wine and you make the botanical. So this is really what you get. If you taste your lips now after drinking, you have the sapidity. This is given by the Ditamo Cretico. So this is what I'm talking about. I mean, all the other information I can say about the Caprano and vermouth, you can find in Wikipedia, of course. You can go on the internet, you can check it. You can see, you know, the first vermouth was made by Hippocrates, you know better than me, with the Hippocratic wines. So, you know, we didn't invent anything. What we did, we stabilized a recipe, and we make it in a bottle. We take something that was like made from 500 years, maybe 1,000 years, but we actually make it as a proper recipe, and we put it in a bottle, and we give them a name. We give a birth to the product. So this is actually really the relationship between Greece and the product himself. Okay. In cocktails, we're gonna make like a cocktail session upstairs. I'm gonna make some cocktails with Fernet. So I'm gonna make some extra old-fashioned with Fernet. I'm gonna make some cocktails that we can drink. The other way you can drink Fernet, and I suggest you to try, is with Coke, with Coca-Cola. I know people making some faces like that, or with and ginger beer. The botanical of the ginger beer, the spiciness of the ginger beer, is cutting down the bitterness of the Fernet Branca. It is enhancing all the flavor, all the other spices. And it's really good as a long drink, I would say. And of course, it can be a substitute on all the bitters they use on cocktails. Just instead of using 4 drops of a bitter, normal bitter, you can make a bar spoon of a Fernet Branca. And try. Or if you want to make like a martini with vodka-tini, or martini with gin, try to put Fernet Branca on infusion in the glass. If you see how the glass gets orange. This is the saffron. All the saffron that's there is going to stay on the glass. If you leave the Fernet Branca in infusion on the martini cup, and then you put your gin on it, you will see this beautiful orange ambra color inside, and then you have all the botanical on the gin and the Fernet together. It's going to make a perfect drink. Try it on. So the versatility of this product is really, as 27 herbs and 13 spices, you have the same amount of cocktail and versatility on the drinks. And the Caprano as well. The Caprano, of course, because of the richness of the Ascensium, once you make a Sazerac, you can use Caprano Bianco to spray on the glass, you leave a little infusion on the glass, and then you make your Sazerac on the glass. All the botanical and all the Ascensium of the Caprano Bianco will come up. So really, these products have like a versatility that really combined with the drink need, but in the cocktail as well. Yes? So, serving temperature. Well, I was in London and I met a guy that works without ice. There's a bar in London, he keeps all the products in the fridge and he makes cocktail without ice. Serving temperature, of course, if you drink like vermouth, which is a wine, it really depends. I mean, if you drink it neat, it should be like a wine temperature. Okay, this is the right temperature. Of course, you know better than me. The lower the temperature, you cut down the flower notes, and the fruit part come up because the volume alcohol reduce. On the other hand, if it's really hot, you have a lot of nose because of the alcohol. Well, I always say room temperature, but I was in Istanbul, room temperature is 50 degrees. So it's always nice. It's always good to say room temperature. I mean, well, I think, okay, because of the volume alcohol, it can stay in the shelf. There is no problem to keep it in the shelf. If you use it for mixologies, to make cocktail, to be in the shelf, you use it. I even drink my Fernet not from the fridge. I always drink at room temperature because the temperature is going to cut down some notes. But it's really up to really how you want to take the product. I mean, if you take it in the fridge, Antica Formula can be served neat with some ice and some orange juice, an orange slice, or even from the shelf. There's no really, as I said before, an etiquetta. It's really how you use it. In terms of storage, if you mean storage, which is better, Caprano Antica Formula can stay in the shelf easily. It's 16 degrees, so the alcohol volume is high, so it keeps the recipe stable. If you're talking about Fernet, of course, it's 35 degrees here, so still, again, can stay in the shelf. So they're really not affecting the fact that you have to keep it in the fridge. If you keep it in the fridge, you have a product that can be easily drink. But usually when it's like 40% alcohol, you put it in the fridge, not to fill the alcohol content so much. Okay? Yes? So again. Me, because I do testing session, I don't like things. Well, and this is a hard question, really. For me, I come from Sardinia. okay? Which is like really hot in the summer, 50 degrees and everything, but still things are in the shelf, except for the beer. My beer, I like it chill from the fridge. But still, everything can be in the shelf. If you drink it like that, I mean, if you drink it like mix it, you keep it on the shelf. Of course, there are just basic rules: no sun, direct sun in the shelf, and so forth. Sorry, can you give me a microphone? Sorry, I didn't. Say.
Yeah, your preference still would be only for a shot of vermouth would be still the shelf, or you would go for the fridge? Only for a shot, not the mix.
From the shelf.
From the shelf.
From the shelf.
Thank you.
I mean, I put like if I drink an Antica Formula neat on its own, that's what I drink it mostly. Some ice cubes, a slice of orange, but from the shelf. From the shelf. Then I let it rest. Of course, this is a marketing as well. If you keep everything on the fridge, you don't have visibility on the bar. So this is a choice that we have to make. Keep it both. Keep both the shelf and the fridge. Unless you have a fridge on the shelf, but you know, this is nice to have situation, okay? Is there any other questions? So we can move down to the next. No? No, okay. So just to recap a little bit. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Raj. So I didn't go through the presentation because there's a lot to read, a lot to see. We talk about all the spices and herbs, the chamomile, the ginseng. Just a quick word about Fernet Branca. Fernet Branca was born to heal people from cholera. So it was a medicine. It was born as a medicine. At the time in Milan, there were a lot of people that were hit by cholera. Now, the Dr. Branca and Dr. Fernet, this is the names come from, were searching for something to heal people from cholera. So they were searching all around the world from spices and herbs that have like organoleptic characteristic according to the symptom of the cholera. So they were looking and searching for all these spices. And then they created the Fernet Branca. They say that after 20 days of administration of Fernet Branca, people start feeling better. Now, the Fernet Branca, I don't know if it is a miracle exactly cure. What I know today, that every spices and herbs that are inside there still today are used to heal from specific illness. Think about like chonchona, quinino. Today for malaria, still they use the quinino. The chamomile. Chamomile is a mio rilassatore. It needs for the muscles to relax and cure the nerves. We have like angelica, the rhubarb. Rhubarb stimulates the appetite. When you get healed, you don't eat anymore. If you don't eat anymore, you don't recover from your illness, so you die. And this rhubarb instead stimulates the production of gastric moisture, so you feel again, you want to eat again. So both Fernet Branca and Antica Formula and Caprano can be a very good aperitif as a digestive. They have both characteristics. Because they're digestive, because they have all the digestive property, because you stimulate the production, the gastric production. But while you were drinking the Caprano, your saliva start producing. So it's getting like opening your stomach, and the first part of the digestion starts from the mouth. So this is really a lot of characteristics on the Fernet. We go to the Caprano Bianco, so the wines that we were talking about before. We have the wines from Trebbiano, Chardonnay, and Cortese. They are, of course, white because the wine is born white. We take it, we stabilize at 10 degrees, and then we bring it up again to 14.5 degrees. Now, to be known as a vermouth, the alcohol volume has to be not below 14.5. Everything, 14.9. Everything below 14.9 is a fortified wine. And it's an aromatized drink, wine-based drink aromatized with herbs and spice. It's not vermouth, okay? And this is how actually the white we make it. So this is all the spices. And then this is the tasting note we said before. It's limpid, straw yellow, flowing. It's fresh, ample, it's an exotic. It's really exotic. Think about Caprano Bianco, how exotic it is. And it's, on the taste is complex, and it's floral, and it's warm. So all these three, all the three together as a very well balanced. And the Caprano, again, same procedure. We take like all the wines that after 2 months we put on the bottle, so it rests for 2 months in the barrels, no oak barrels, in tins. Okay. And the same. He has a limpid, black-red consistent, warm taste balance. It's intense, it's alpine, it's grassy, it's spicy. So he has all these notes, and again gathered together. Okay. Then a product that we didn't taste, but we have in our portfolio, is the Punta Mes. I don't know if you know the Punta Mes, but still, it's the vermouth-based drink with the adding of quina. So actually, the name itself is given to the product. He has a Punta Mes, which means 1.5 points. This is 1 point of sweetness given by the vermouth, and ½ point of bitterness given by the quina. We didn't taste it today, but I strongly advise you to try this product and use it on the cocktail. Beware though, is the bitterness level of this product is very complex. So it's not really easy to use on the cocktail because it emerges a lot. It's perfect to make the Milano Torino, which is like a cocktail you know better than me. It's the Campari and Punta Mes, which is a very famous cocktail. Then we talk about the Caprano Antica formula. So the first vermouth in the world, as we said before, 1786. 1771 was the first document, written document, with the word vermouth. In 1786 was the first bottle with a label and vermouth word inside. So we're talking about many years ago. Same procedure of the Caprano, but more botanical, more richness, and less sugar content. And you feel it when you taste it. So I finished the presentation. I have a small space, 3-minute space for questions if you want. Otherwise, we meet upstairs and we're going to make some cocktails together with Fernet and with Caprano. Any question? Yes. What about mixing vermouth together? Well, as I said before, I don't usually mix Antica Formula and Caprano Classico. I use Caprano Bianco to season the glass sometimes for the acidity and citrus notes, and then make cocktail with Caprano or Antica Formula. Unless I'm making some other cocktail using Punta Mes and Antica Formula. Punta Mes and Antica Formula can be done in itself. It's a very good mixer. But this is because the Punta Mes has this quina flavor at the very end, so it's balancing again the white taste of the Antica Formula. Okay? No? Thank you for the attention, and I'll see you upstairs. Join me for a free cocktail on the house.